Imagine having a credit card with no limit, a gorgeous home, and a husband who promises to take care of everything. It sounds like a fairy tale, right? Well, it was mine. But there was a catch, one simple rule: his money, his rules. I was about to learn that the price for this perfect life was my own freedom. This is the story of how I escaped a financial abuse trap that was cleverly disguised as a dream come true. It all started with Michael. He was charismatic, successful, a little bit older, and he just completely swept me off my feet. He told me he'd never met anyone like me and that all he wanted to do was protect me and give me the world. So when I got pregnant, he made an offer that sounded like love itself. "Quit your job," he said. "Let me take care of you and the baby. Just relax." It felt like a dream come true. We moved into this stunning house, and for the first time in my adult life, I didn't have to stress about money. He was my provider, my protector. He handled all the finances, and I felt so safe. So loved. It really felt like a perfect life. Or so I thought. Then, things started to change. It was so slow, so subtle, I almost didn't see it happening. It started with the credit card he'd given me for my expenses. Suddenly, he needed to see every single receipt. If I grabbed a coffee with a friend, he'd ask, "Don't we have a coffee machine at home?" A new dress for a wedding got me, was that really necessary? They were just little comments, small remarks he passed off as being financially responsible. But soon, that control started creeping into other parts of my life. My friends became an issue. "Why does Sarah want to see you so much?" he'd ask. "Is her life that boring?" He started tracking my phone and my time. I had to ask permission to go out, and even then, he'd hand me a small cash allowance, as if I were a teenager. My old paycheck, my personal savings. It had all been absorbed into a joint account that I eventually lost access to. I was living in a beautiful house, but it had become a gilded cage. I was completely dependent on him, and that's exactly where he wanted me. The moment I knew I had to leave came on a Tuesday night. My sister called me, sobbing. Her husband had just lost his job, and they were a week away from being evicted. She wasn't asking for a handout, just a short-term loan to keep a roof over her kids' heads. Of course, I said I'd help. When I brought it up with Michael, his face went cold. He just looked at me and said, "Absolutely not. It's my money, and I decide how it's spent. Your family isn't my problem." And in that instant, the whole fairy tale just shattered around me. He wasn't protecting me, he was controlling me. The money wasn't a tool for our shared life, it was his weapon. I finally saw the truth with this horrifying clarity: I had no money, no power, and absolutely no way out. I was trapped. And the man who was supposed to be my partner was actually my gatekeeper. Fear can be an incredible motivator. That night, I waited until he was asleep, and I started planning. I began small, getting extra cash back during grocery trips and stashing $10 or $20 away in an old shoebox. I secretly reconnected with a former colleague who, thank God, remembered my work ethic. Using a friend's address, I started quietly applying and interviewing for jobs. I also called a domestic violence hotline. The woman on the other end of the line gave my experience a name: coercive control and financial abuse. Hearing those words was like a light in the dark. It validated everything. I wasn't going crazy. This was real. Step by painful step, she helped me put together a safety plan. The day I left, I was terrified. I packed one bag for me and my child while he was at work and walked out of that beautiful house for the last time. I didn't even look back. The first few months were unbelievably hard. But getting a job, opening my own bank account, seeing my name on a lease. Those were victories that felt better than any designer bag he ever bought me. My life isn't as glamorous as it once was. I don't have a limitless credit card. But what I do have, for the first time in years, is freedom. And that is priceless. If any part of this story feels familiar, please know that you are not alone, and help is out there. Like this video if it connected with you, and subscribe for more stories. And if you're in a safe place to do so, share your own experience in the comments. You never know who needs to see your story.